You're such an asshole.
AssholeConsulting.com live from the People's Republic of Fort Collins, hanging out with the great one himself. He's working, I'm working, both contributing to GDP, because that's what good Americans do. Hey, asshole, I'm a conservative Trump supporter who believes that certain creations and vagabonds of society should be executed. The Unabomber, gangsters, and other pieces of shit should not have to do life sentences in prison. They should be on death row worrying about being executed, in my opinion. Do you think that the death penalty is justified or not? I would like to know your response. Thank you. And I said, oh, okay. And I'm sure, well, I'm not sure. I know back in high school, maybe it was debate or civics, I can't remember, but that's where I kind of had my opinion formed about the death sentence or the death penalty, and never really gave it much thought since then. But since you bring it up 25 years later, I had to go and kind of re-inventory, like, okay, what do I think? All right, so here's the deal. You bring up an interesting point where, you know, whether you're gangsters or you're actually a murderer or you have earned the death penalty in whatever state or a life prison sentence. The prospect of sitting in prison and then not knowing if you're going to die that day or the next day or the next day, that's worse than a death sentence unto itself. That's worse than just being killed. I would say, depending on who you are, a lifetime prison sentence is worse than death itself, because you're just stuck in that cube or your prison cell, and what do? Maybe you get to go outside a little bit and play some basketball or work out, which I guess maybe you could find prison life better than death unto itself. But depending on, are you supermax? What do you have to fight every day? A guy like me, life sentence, no, just fucking kill me, just kill me, because I'm not sitting in a cage for the rest of my life. That's not life. So in some instances, it depends on the person, but a lifetime prison sentence, not death, for me, that sounds like even worse than death itself. Then you'd be begging for the death penalty. But then again, sometimes people they want to stay alive, and there's always the hope for appeal, and hope springs eternal, and we learned that with Obama. So it really depends. Like, if I really want, let's say you have somebody that you want ultimate revenge on. Do you want to kill them, or do you take out their family? I know this is dark. Or do you kill everyone they love and you leave them to stay alive and suffer with it? It's really, you could torture people a long time, and killing them would be merciful. So that's something to think about. But when it comes to the death penalty or even a lifetime prison sentence, my primary concern is punishing an innocent man or woman. And that's my concern. And then I know this sounds stupid, but I part of this was influenced by watching Forensic Files. Love Forensic Files. Even the episodes from the late 80s, this new technology called DNA, could it solve the mystery? Obviously a little bit later than that. But man, Forensic Files is a great show. Very entertaining. But then there's been a couple episodes where people were sentenced to not death, but life, or 10 years, and then the DNA evidence exonerated them. And I'm just thinking, here's this poor guy or gal coming out of prison, and they're crying because they had 10 years of their life taken away. And as much as you'd like to punish the truly evil people in society, prison, death sentence or not, if you see someone who was convicted, wrongly convicted, and is an innocent man, and then lifetime, you even read the news, I think there was a older black gentleman who was exonerated, and I think he spent most of his life in jail. He's like 70 years old or something now. How you feel bad, even though you're not the one that you convicted the guy, you feel bad as society, because we elected the representatives and the judicial system, that this person, imagine what that does to you. So when it comes to starting to take away somebody's life, whether or not we kill them or we just put them in a cage for the rest of their lives, I want to make sure you got conclusive, solid 100% proof that you definitely, that guy did murder that person. We know for a fact. We don't suspect. There's not circumstantial evidence. we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that that person did it. Now, if you could get that ironclad proof, video, whatever, kill away and put them away for as long as you want. All right? But fine, go ahead and do it. And I am for the death penalty in that regard. But before you start handing out death penalties or life sentences like cards in Vegas, I would, just the old captain, I would go well beyond, what did the jury say? I'm like, boy, and then it's like, okay, do we want to give him the death penalty? All right, we don't do the death. All right, do we really want to put him away for life? And for every lifetime prison sentence, I know maybe we don't have the resources for it. I would say, all right, I want an investigation making damn sure that we know that we're not going to kill him, but before we put him in a cage for the rest of his or her life, I want as much proof as possible. FBI, whoever else, the best forensic evidence, best forensic scientists going in on the case and making sure that, because I really, I feel I had nothing to do with it, and I feel like shit where it's like, oh, this guy, what was there, as a football player? Or he was accused of rape. This has nothing to do with murder. He was just falsely accused of rape, and the DNA evidence acquitted him. And he could have gone in the NFL, and he came out, I think it was 33 when he came out, and he was going to give his shot at the NFL again. I'm like, what? Not to mention the lost lives, but what does that do to a guy mentally or a woman mentally when you actually are innocent and you didn't do it? So I would really up the game in terms of like proof that, now we're going to take this person's life, or we're just going to take their life, not literally but metaphorically, by keeping them in a cube. So there's that. Now, where I will agree with you, and this is, Aaron's like, oh wow, Aaron's really got a heart and a soul. Well, hang on, it's Asshole Consulting, it is the captain, and I am an evil white male, non-leftist, who's straight, so remember, of course, I have to be evil somewhere. Where I am more than happy to deliver the death penalty is where you have someone with a rap sheet this long. They haven't committed murder or a capital offense, but if you're stealing cars for the 4th or 5th time, I take drugs out of it. I'm not for drugs. Deal your drugs. If you had President-Cappy, another nice President-Cappy, every drug convicted offender, you're free. Get the fuck out. No, we're not dealing with the war on drugs anymore. You're free to go. Go. Just don't commit no more crimes. If your only offense is drugs, get the fuck out of the prison system. Go deal with your drugs. But if you're going to prove to be a net parasite to society, you are assaulting people, grand theft auto, burglary, rape, for example, that shooter down in Florida, the cops were called to that house 39 times. If it's just proven that you're not going to play nice in the sandbox, and I don't mean like you disagree, but you're starting to commit crimes against society, and it's kind of clear you're not going to turn around and find Jesus anytime soon, I have no problem putting you in a cage for the rest of your life or killing you. And we'd give you the option. Okay, obviously, you have no intention of being a productive citizen. And the people of this society, and it doesn't matter what country, have the right not to have a leech. I mean, you get a leech or a mosquito or someone's first thing, you kill it. And I don't care, it's not that bad. No. We're not dealing with that here. We're not dealing with touchy-feely bullshit that you learned by a bunch of pansified teachers who had zero testosterone back in K through 12. You are a net draw. You are a parasite on society. You don't have the right to live, right? We could even probably do a third one, which would be a little bit, we're banishing you. We're excommunicating you. We load you up in C-135s. We fly you over North Korea. We push you out. We fly you over Mogadishu. We push you out. We get your DNA. We get face fingerprints. We say, you ever come back here again, you're dead. Like, you are no longer part of the society. So that might be a little bit nicer of a way to do it. You go be a parasite somewhere else. But if you're going to keep coming back or whatever, we'd say, no, you are going to be a lifetime criminal. You are going to be a net draw upon society. You are dragging us down. You're preventing us from progressing. You are costing us money. You are not allowing us to achieve our greatest and advance our most. And therefore, resources have to be spent dealing with you instead of making future lives, but instead of advancing the human race, you are slowing us down. Fuck you, you're out of the gene pool. And whether that means you're thrown in a cage, you're killed, or you're just deported to some shithole. What Britain did with Australia, that's a prison colony. Like, get the fuck out of society. Bye. Enjoy the scorpions. That's what I would do. So once again, I'm not that nice of a guy. But I actually care about law-abiding people. It's just, I'm sorry, I know you've all been brainwashed to love the criminals and the bad people, but I like good, productive people, and fuck the bad people. So that's it. You guys got questions, go to assholeconsulting.com, where I, the world's only professional asshole, America's older brother, will tell you the truth because you're not getting it anywhere else, for a fee, because I am an asshole. And I'm even more of an asshole because you can give me money that I don't need at Patreon by going to patreon.com/Aaron Clary, because it pisses off all the right people. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.